They say every winter carries a story. Some stories are simple, some are wise, and there are stories that open themselves only to those who are not afraid to walk forward, even when everything around is silence, snow, and cold. This story is one of those. It began on an ordinary frosty evening when two horses were pulling a wooden sleigh along a snow-covered road. A traveler sat wrapped in a warm blanket, watching the path ahead, a path that led toward the distant glow of a winter town behind the snowy hills. But his journey was not only a road through winter, it was a road through himself. And everyone who listens to this story goes along this road with him. The traveler rode in silence, listening to the breath of the horses and the soft sound of falling snow. Snowflakes settled on trees, roofs, the ground, as if someone invisible was covering the whole world with a white blanket. The horses walked with confidence, as if they knew the road better than he did. He watched their steady movements and thought, life sometimes moves the same way. It knows the path even when you doubt. Yet inside his heart, there was worry. He was searching for answers, and he hoped winter would whisper them, because sometimes a person needs to step into silence to finally hear themselves. The traveler entered a small winter village where every house looked as if it had been wrapped in golden threads of light. Warm windows glowed softly, and snowflakes sparkled on rooftops like tiny stars. He watched the people passing by the sleigh. Someone carried a basket of firewood. Someone helped a child pick up fallen mittens. Someone simply walked with a quiet smile on their face. In that moment, the traveler realized something simple, yet important. There is enough kindness in this world. Sometimes it's just hidden behind everyday worries. A woman approached the sleigh and handed him a small package of food. "Here," she said gently, "everyone needs warmth on the road, not only the body, but the soul as well." He thanked her, and her words lingered in his heart. Soon the sleigh moved on, and the lights of the village slowly faded behind him. After some time, the horses slowed down near a small wooden bridge. An old man stood beside the railings, holding a lantern that glowed like a tiny sun against the winter night. "Where are you headed?" he asked the traveler. "I'm not sure. I'm looking for something. Maybe for myself." The old man smiled, the kind of smile only those who have understood a great deal in life can give. "When a person searches for themselves," he said, "they are already moving in the right direction. Only those who think they know everything about themselves are truly lost." The traveler fell silent, thinking about his words. The old man lifted the lantern higher, letting warm light spill over the snowy path. "Remember," he continued, "the road is never empty. Every step teaches you something. Even when the world is quiet, life is still speaking to you." "And how do I hear it?" the traveler asked. "Stop rushing," the old man answered softly, "and let the world come closer." The horses gently pulled the sleigh forward, leaving the old man and his lantern glowing like a memory in the dark. The road led the traveler into a silent forest where the snow fell so gently that each snowflake seemed to choose its own place to rest. The branches of tall pines bent under the soft weight, creating archways through which the sleigh passed, like through a winter cathedral. The traveler listened. He could hear the delicate crunch of snow beneath the runners, the rhythmic breathing of the horses, and the deep silence of the forest itself. It was the kind of silence that whispered instead of echoing, the kind that makes you aware of your own heartbeat. One of the horses quietly snorted as if sensing something ahead, and then from between the trees, a small dog appeared, a fluffy little creature with snow on its fur, trotted up to the sleigh. Its tail wagged happily as if it recognized the traveler or simply welcomed any soul passing through the forest. The dog ran alongside them for a while, keeping pace with the horses. Then, just as suddenly as it arrived, it slipped back into the trees and disappeared. The traveler smiled. Sometimes small wonders appear for only a moment, but somehow stay with you much longer. The forest opened its path again, and the sleigh continued forward. As dusk drew near, the traveler saw a warm glow ahead. A cozy old house stood by the roadside, with smoke curling gently from its chimney. A woman in a thick winter shawl waited by the gate, as if she had known someone would arrive. "Come closer," she called softly. "Your horses are tired. And you must be tired too." The traveler stepped down from the sleigh. The woman handed the horses fresh hay. They lowered their heads gratefully and began to eat. "You see," she said, watching them, "when you feed those who carry you, you lighten your own burden." The traveler looked at her. "How so?" "Because kindness always returns," she replied. "Sometimes from the ones you least expect." She gave him a steaming cup of herbal tea. Its warmth spread through his fingers, then through his chest, melting something heavy inside him. "Everyone has their own winter," the woman said quietly, "but winter doesn't come to freeze you. It comes to clear the way for something new." Her words settled as the traveler's heart like fresh snow on untouched ground. That night, beneath the woman's lantern, the sleigh continued on. The forest eventually opened to a wide valley covered in silver snow. In the distance, rising above the hills, like a dream carved from stone and starlight, stood a majestic castle. Tall towers, arched windows, and snowy rooftops glowing in the moonlight. It reminded the traveler of the fairy tale castles he once saw in old storybooks, the kind that promised safety and answers. The horses slowed on their own, as if sensing the importance of the place. Their breath formed clouds in the cold air, rising softly like prayers. The traveler stepped down and approached the great wooden doors. Before he could knock, they opened gently. An elderly man stood there, tall and calm, with thoughtful eyes that seemed to seep beyond the present moment. "Welcome," the man said. "You've come a long way." The traveler nodded. "I'm searching for something. I think answers." The old man gestured for him to follow. "As do all who come here," he said. "This castle doesn't appear to just anyone, only to those who are ready to understand what awaits inside." They walked through a long hall lit by warm lanterns that flickered gently, casting golden reflections on the stone walls. "Tell me," the old man said, "what is it that troubles your heart?" The traveler hesitated, then spoke. "I want to understand who I am and find peace with myself." The old man smiled softly, then listened closely. "A person is not what they do, nor what has happened to them. A person is who they choose to become after they walk their path." The traveler looked up, surprised by the simplicity and power of his words. "But what if the path is difficult?" he asked. "Then what you find at the end will be even more precious," the old man answered. "Remember, winter is not punishment. It is preparation. The traveler felt something inside him shift, as if a heavy door had quietly opened. The old man led him into a grand hall, where a large fireplace burned with calm, steady flames. The warmth wrapped around the traveler like a blanket, chasing away the cold and worry he had carried for so long. Shadows danced across the stone walls, moving gently with the fire. The crackling wood sounded like quiet whispers, the kind that comfort, not frighten. The old man sat in a carved wooden chair and said, "In every person, there are 3 roads: the road of the past, the road of the present, and the road of the heart." The traveler listened closely. "The road of the past teaches you," the man continued. "The road of the present shapes you, but the road of the heart, it leads you home." The traveler looked into the fire. "And what if someone has lost themselves?" he asked softly. The old man smiled, and the firelight warmed his face. "Those who search," he said, "have already found more than they realize." Wind brushed against the castle windows, but inside the traveler felt safe for the first time in a long while. He remained there for hours, listening to the old man's stories, each one a small piece of wisdom, a reminder that every struggle, every winter brings a person closer to understanding themselves. And when the flames grew low, the traveler finally felt calm. He was ready to continue his journey. When dawn approached, the traveler stepped out of the castle. The sky was painted in shades of pale blue and soft pink, and snowflakes shimmered like tiny diamonds in the first morning light. The horses waited patiently, their breath rising in calm white clouds. They seemed different now, or perhaps it was the traveler who had changed. As he climbed into the sleigh, the old man appeared at the doorway once more. "Take this with you," the old man said, offering a small lantern. "Its light will not fade until your heart remembers what it has learned." The traveler accepted the lantern with gratitude. "What if I forget?" he asked quietly. The old man shook his head. "You won't," he replied. "Once a person sees themselves clearly, even for a moment, they can never be blind again." The traveler nodded, and the horses began to pull the sleigh forward. The castle slowly disappeared into the morning mist, its silhouette fading as if it were returning to a place where only those who need it could find it. The road was long, but lighter now. The trees no longer felt heavy with silence. Instead, they felt like old friends accompanying him home. The traveler closed his eyes for a moment, letting the cold wind brush his face. For the first time in a long while, the wind did not feel empty. It felt like a reminder that he wasn't alone on his path. By the time the sleigh reached the edge of the winter town, the lantern at the traveler's hands glowed warm and steady. The familiar streets greeted him with soft golden lights, and the sounds of life slowly rose around him. People walked past, carrying bundles of firewood. Children laughed, dogs barked playfully, and somewhere far away, a church bell chimed gently. The traveler breathed deeply. Nothing had changed, yet everything felt different. Because the greatest change happens not around us, but within us. He looked at the horses, who turned their heads toward him, their eyes calm and knowing. "Thank you," he whispered. They didn't need words to understand. As he stepped down from the sleigh, the old man's voice echoed in his memory. "The road of the heart, it leads you home." The lantern flickered softly in his hand, and in that moment he knew his journey wasn't over. It was only beginning again. from a place of clarity, peace, and quiet strength. And winter. Winter was no longer something to fear. It was simply a guide, showing him the way forward.